everybody, it's Jimmy here with the CLT Life at Costello Real Estate and Investments, and I just want to talk briefly about a couple of recent posts on my Facebook page, my business Facebook page, and they're both real estate related posts you see on the blog from Keeping Current Matters. Both of them have to do with preparing to buy a house, and I just want to speak briefly on both of them. The first one I posted on May the 16th, so about 10 o'clock in the morning. Talk about mortgage pre-approval and why that's so important. So if you're thinking about buying a house, and if you've bought a house before, you know how important it is to get the loan process started early on. Unless you're a cash buyer, there's a difference between a mortgage pre-approval and a mortgage pre-qualification that a lot of people aren't familiar with. So it used to be, and I've been in the business here about 7.5 years, and it used to be that people would be pre-qualified. Like, oh, I've got a loan pre-qualification. Basically what that meant was they spoke with a lender, they shared, how they did a credit check on them, they told them how much they made, shared some of their debt information. And that was about it. And they said, well, as long as what you're telling me is true, then based on what you're telling me, you should be able to buy a house for $300,000, $400,000, whatever the amount was. That was a pre-qualification letter. And we would use these letters to present to sellers in conjunction with the offer. Nowadays, a pre-qual letter is not going to work, and the reason is because it's not underwritten like a pre-approval letter is. So, there would be situations where you might have a pre-qualification letter, and then once the lender starts digging and really getting into your paperwork, they determine that, well, actually you didn't disclose this, we didn't know about that, and actually you're not going to be able to qualify for the home. The buyer's under contract to purchase the house, and the next thing you know, the house is going back up on the market. Wasted everybody's time. The seller had to take their house off the market and miss out on other potential good buyers. So with a loan pre-approval, you're actually going a little bit further into the process. The lender is actually going so far as underwriting, like pre-underwriting your loan. They're gathering lots more documents, proof of income, proof of assets, things like that. It's more work on the front end, but the good news is it's less work on the back end. So you provide all those documents before you're actually making an offer and under contract on a house and scrambling to figure out how you're going to move and worrying about inspections and everything else. So you're actually taking some of the load off your plate. So anyway, take a look at that. There's some really cool, pretty helpful infographics on there. One, it says the power of mortgage pre-approval, and it says on here, it means a lender has reviewed your finances and determined how much you're qualified to borrow. They look at your income, your debt, your assets, your credit history, and employment. Those are the important factors. And then the benefits of pre-approval gives you clarity when determining your home buying budget. Your offer is more desirable. It has a competitive edge in a bidding war, of course, over anyone who's not pre-approved. And you can be more confident in your ability to secure a loan because, again, they've already reviewed a lot of the important documents. So that is about the pre-approval. The other one was discussing budgeting for closing costs, and that's a factor that lots of times people don't think about. When obviously you've got your down payment. If you're in North Carolina, you've got a earnest money deposit and a due diligence fee that you're paying up front, and those go towards your down payment. But what you're not thinking of is your loan origination costs, your attorney fees, costs to do an appraisal, costs to do inspections. So some of those costs can kind of add up. So those are things you want to factor in as well when you're saving up. So when you're saving for a down payment, remember you got to factor in some of those other expenses that you're going to have as well, in addition to your actual down payment. So if you have any questions or want to dig any deeper on either one of these topics, I'd be happy to talk to you. Shoot me a message. You can DM me or Facebook message me. You can also send me a text. My number is 704-313-8514. or call that same number, or send an email, jimmy@costellorei.com. So that's like 5 different ways of contacting me. I would say come and knock on my door, but that just makes me think of Three's Company. Anyway, hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.